This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight from downtown St. Louis and Busch Stadium. Warm, hot night in the Gateway City, and it's game number 2, the Miami Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals. And welcome to the broadcast booth at Busch Stadium with Brad Thompson. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Delighted to have you with us and delighted to talk about a win last night. We'll see if the Cardinals can make it 2 in a row. Kwang Hyun Kim gets the start for St. Louis, the left-hander, and he's back off the IL for the second time this year, Brad. So we'll see just how far he can go in this game.
Yeah, certainly that will be something to look at. I know Mike Schill talked about it before the game. They're going to just eyeball test. He's not going to be on a specific pitch count due to the fact that he was only on the IL 10 days, but drastic difference between 2020 and 2021 so far. A lot of harder hit baseballs. You do wonder if the back has had a little bit of something to do with that, not being able to finish off pitches. But we know how dangerous KK can be, and this group is healthy. Glad to have him back.
So getting ahead and staying ahead, and that will be a key tonight.
Yes, certainly will, and we know this with pitching. You got to get ahead. How are you able to continue to pound the zone? That was why he was so effective last year. That'll be something to keep an eye on today. How aggressive is KK within the strike zone?
The lefty, Kwang Hyun Kim for St. Louis, off the IL, gets the Game 2 start. Yachty up to his old tricks in game number 1. A closer look at Yachty when we come back on Ballet Sports. Tyler O'Neill in the lineup tonight. Since his return from the IL, he has made his presence felt.
Yeah, he came up big for the Cardinals last night. That big double to score Dylan Carlson, give the Cardinals the lead. And this has been the guy that they knew they traded for. Fantastic to see what he's been doing since coming back off the IL.
Tyler O'Neill, our Kia player profile, brought to you by your local Kia dealers in 2020, the 50 games. And in 2021, 47. And what a difference here in 21. And like you said, the guy they thought he could be.
He looks comfortable in the box. He's making adjustments. He's recognizing pitches. And this is real, Dan.
Kim coming off the IL tonight for St. Louis and getting the start for the Cardinals. KK and the Cardinals against the Marlins. First pitch. Starting lineups. Game 2. Next on Ballet Sports. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Ballet Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. It is a gorgeous night here in the Gateway City. Busch Stadium the scene. It's game number 2, the Miami Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals, 86 degrees. And with Brad Thompson, I'm Dan McLaughlin, as the Cardinals are looking for just their 3rd series win in the last 4 weeks, and they'll turn to Kwang Hyun Kim, and he'll try to pick it up.
Yeah, well, it's certainly great to have Kim back off of the IL. This team has been trying to get healthy. Look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Kim. You got the fastball. He'll throw that sinker every once in a while. Slider, changeup, curveball as well. And we know this, when KK is at his best, I mean, he's going right after the opposition. He's raring and firing. Guys have to step out of the box because he works so fast. We'll see after 10 days on the IL kind of how he's feeling.
Jazz Chisholm drove in 2 last night, and on the first pitch sends a fly ball to Lane Thomas, battling the sun to make the catch. Lane was inserted into the lineup about 10 minutes ago. Late scratch was Tommy Edman. A sore trunk was how it was talked about and described. Don Mattingly's lineup: Chisholm, Marte, Aguilar, then Duvall, Sanchez, Birdie, Leon, Diaz, and Rogers. So 1 pitch, 1 away. Good start for Kim. Showing bunt and takes a ball. Marte named the National League Player of the Week, first time in his career. 368 coming off the IL back on May 28th. So swinging a hot bat. First Marlin to be named the National League Player of the Week since Giancarlo Stanton. Marcell Ozuna shared the award in September of 2017. And that was right before they were traded away. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Ground ball coming in. Arenado quickly to first, and he got him. Starting to take that for granted, and that was not an easy play from the Gold Glover. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Nolan Arenado at third base. DeYoung is at short. Sosa at second. Goldschmidt is at first. Molina behind the plate. O'Neill, Carlson, Thomas in the outfield. This is going to be a very interesting night for Don Mattingly, and we saw last night his bench was short. The Marlins have no backup infielders at second, short, or third in their lineup. And so he said in an emergency situation, you may see Aguilar shift to one of those spots. Primarily, you're talking about third base and moving somebody else. But again, they're shorthanded tonight.
Yeah, you have to be able to mix and match the best way you can. And that's why so many managers love having players that are versatile when you get in situations like this.
Aguilar, hands on his hip, staring at Kim, a little smile. And that's kind of the way that he plays the game, with a lot of personality. Fun guy.
I dig it for sure.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. And he rips it out to left for a base hit. Over to cut it off, it's Tyler O'Neill. Aguilar, partner, has had a very good year.
Yeah, he's been hitting for average, hitting for power. 12 home runs, as you mentioned on the broadcast last night. All of them have been on the road, and he has been a significant pickup for this ball club. Offense has been tough to come by for the Marlins this year, but for him, it's been pretty good. 49 RBIs, leads the National League.
He was 0 for 3 last night. That snapped his 9-game hitting streak, and he starts a new one tonight. Here's Adam Duvall. Hitting just 148 against lefties this season, 8 for 54. 2 outs and a runner at first. KK has made a couple of starts here at home. 1 win, 1 loss. And his ERA just over 3. Cardinals won each of his first 5 starts to begin the year. Have dropped the last 4, but he's not going deep into games.
No, as deep as he's gotten this year is 5 2/3. He's done that 2 times. And to me, that just comes down to pounding the zone again, just attacking. That's what he did relentlessly last year.
2 balls and no strikes. Calling the balls and strikes tonight, Chris Guccione. Ryan Addington at first. David Rackley, second base umpire. Larry Vanover, the crew chief, is at third. Marlins have dropped 9 of their last 10 on the road. 3-0. Cardinals a shift on the left side of the infield. Outfield is straight away. And he walked him on 4 straight. So 2 out hit by Aguilar. 4 straight balls to Adam Duvall. And here is Jesus Sanchez. Sanchez was tearing it up at AAA, and so he gets the call up.
Hitting .349, had 9 home runs already in AAA. Made it up last year, 10 games in the big leagues, only registered 1 hit. He struggled a little bit, but I mean, small sample size. They looked at him here, and there was a need certainly, but he was ready.
And hitting lefties well down in the minors. Big hack there, fouled back. He was hitting .342 against the lefties. As Brad mentioned, .349 overall. That included 5 doubles, 3 triples, the 9 home runs, and over 1,000 OPS. So pretty good numbers in the minors, and gets the call up.
We kind of like the way, if you're Don Mattingly, that first swing. Like he's up here trying to take advantage of this, trying to do exactly what he was doing in AAA Jacksonville.
And the 0-1 pitch. 0-2, leading all the Marlins minor leaguers in average total bases before being recalled. Last game in the minors was 3 for 5 with a double and a home run. Falls behind here, 0-2. Missed on the outside corner, 1-2. A little jumpy there at the plate, huh?
I feel like he's confident.
He's excited.
Yeah, he is.
And a ground ball backhanded by Sosa, and a nice play. The Marlins strand a pair. No damage done. And the Cardinals coming up in the home half of the first. No score. Cardinals lineup tonight here in game number 2. Dylan Carlson, then Paul Goldschmidt batting second. Nolan Arenado third. Tyler O'Neill, Yadier Molina, Edmundo Sosa, Paul DeYoung, Lane Thomas, and then Kwang Hyun Kim, the pitcher, batting ninth. And again, no Tommy Edman. He's not available tonight, at least at the onset. And Trevor Rogers, a lefty, getting the call. Former top draft choice and living up to that choice. And got a lot of money to sign. He's 7-3, ERA just over 2. Still has rookie status. And there's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Yeah, the fastball is good. It rides. He's got that kind of like three-quarter delivery. A very good changeup. He's confident. Slider is solid as well. And this guy goes attack mode. A lot of times his fastball's up in the zone, then throws his off-speed down. It's going to be a tough task.
These are the candidates, maybe two of the leaders for Rookie of the Year right now for the National League. Both appeared in the truncated 2020 season, but still have the status as rookies here in 2021. Popped up by Dylan Carlson, hit into right field. Duvall battling the sun and makes the play. So there's different thresholds that you have to meet or cannot exceed to still be considered a rookie. 130 at bats or 50 innings pitched in the major leagues, or 45 total days on an active roster prior to September. So if you exceed that threshold there, you lose your rookie status. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Mike Schilt looking for offense, and because of Edman's injury tonight, or at least for the time being, you get to shift things up a little bit, change it up a little bit, and see how this works.
Yeah, and look, it's not exactly how you want to do that. You want to be able to make these moves and be able to shake things up just because you want to shake them up, not have some sort of a, ailment, do something about it. But sometimes change ends up sparking something. It doesn't mean that it ends up being your lineup for the rest of the season, but Cardinals have been looking for a little something different and a little more out of their offense, and maybe this can provide a little jump. I hope Tommy's back quickly.
Tapped foul by Goldie here in the month of June, hitting .293, 248 overall. His hard hit percentage is about 60%. So if he puts it in play, 60%, that's very, very good.
Yeah. Just love to see him start getting the ball up in the air a little bit more, let it fly.
Outside.
You know this, you've seen his stroke at its best. He hits that line drive that just takes off like a tee shot when he's right. He's a gap-to-gap line drive guy.
The 2-2. And a swing and a miss for a strikeout for Trevor Rogers. And the batter will be Nolan Arenado. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Jesus Sanchez in left, you see pictured there. Marte in center, and Duvall in right. Diaz, Chisholm, Birdie, Aguilar along the infield. Sandy Leon is behind the plate. Arenado is 1 for 2 against this lefty, and batting .341 overall against left-handed pitching. And there's strike one with 2 outs and nobody on. So you have Jesus Aguilar with 49 runs batted in. National League leader in that category. Three-way tie for second. Arenado 44, Fernando Tatis Jr. and Brandon Crawford of the Giants.
How about that?
Yes.
How about the Giants this year?
Great story.
Yeah, they really have been.
Everybody thinking it's the Padres and the Dodgers, and lo and behold, it's the Giants. Hit up the middle. There's Birdie, and he makes the play. Cardinals go in order. Birdie leads it off when we come back, and there is no score. No score here in game 2. Second inning. We check in with Jim Hayes.
Danny Dylan Carlson playing in career game number 100. Carlson told me the big takeaway from his career to this point is that you've got to go out all out every day, no breaks. He told me this game doesn't take it easy on anyone. You have to bring hunger and intensity every single night. Now, I asked him about the play at home last night. When he missed the plate, he did not slide. Dylan told me the play just happened quickly. I wasn't sure there would be a play at the plate, and I got caught in between. I definitely have to score a run in that situation. Just one of those moments you have to learn from. And Dylan said at first he thought he had dragged his toe on the plate. He says you learn from it, and then you move on.
Learn and move on. And that's what we hear about in this game all the time, Brad Thompson.
No, it certainly is true. And you know this about Dylan Carlson, a coach's son. I mean, that's been the life in baseball. You learn from it. You learn from the good. You learn from the bad. And then you become a better player. And look, life lesson, you become a better person, right, throughout your experiences. So little stuff like that, it ain't going to happen again, you know. So I like that, and I like him talking about the intensity, because you see it when he plays. You see the intensity, the all-out every single day. It's difficult to give, but he's able to do so.
Second walk issued by Kim, and that's how we start playing the second inning. MLB Ballpark app completes your next visit to Busch Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. For the walks, that's something we just didn't see even in a small sample size a year ago from Kwang Hun Kim.
No, certainly didn't, and it's something that you hope to not be a trend in this one. I would just look back to that first inning. A couple of baseballs. Nolan makes a really nice play.
Ground ball knocked down by Goldie. Plenty of time, and they'll get one out at least.
Nice job by KK to get over there and get that. Get the bag. But I mean, you got these guys out there. You got Gold Glovers. That first inning, Nolan Arenado makes himself a good play. Get another look at this one. This one kind of catches the lip and catches Goldie on the heel. It's fortunate enough that it didn't kick off far. I know he's upset at himself for not being able to turn two on that one. But I'm going to keep giving these guys all the chances in the world. I'm going to attack the zone. Sosa made a good play on the ball that Sanchez hit. Got a good defense behind me. I'm pounding the zone. This isn't just KK. This is the staff. Use those guys behind you.
Eighth place hitter Diaz, and then Rogers. Diaz hitting 152 this year. Cardinals shift on the right side. Runner at second base. And strike one. What do you think? A little bigger crowd here tonight?
I think so. It's a good atmosphere. As we start getting the weekend home series, you know, that's where it really picks up. It's a great opportunity, though. Everybody's able to get out to the ballpark if you want to. I suggest it.
0-2. Beautiful night here at the ballpark. And we hope you're enjoying baseball wherever you may be. Sosa, the second baseman. It's a good 10-15 feet on the outfield grass in shallow right. Tell you what, he has not played all that much, Edmundo Sosa. But you were saying, hey, put the ball in play. Let these guys do what they do defensively. And he's at second tonight. But the only shortstop with more defensive runs saved than Sosa is J.P. Crawford. He's got two more. He's played 2.5 times as many innings as Sosa. That's how well Edmundo has played this year defensively.
Yeah, he has been so solid for this ball club.
And it's 2-2.
And you know this, Dan. It's not easy to have the role that he had early on before the injury. You're not playing at all. You're not getting at bats very rarely. To be able to jump right in, step in, and do the job, and he's been doing it. And he's forced the hand of Mike Schill to get him in there. You have to.
Count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out, runner at second, swing and a miss, and the first strikeout for Kim. And the batter will be Trevor Rogers, the pitcher.
Well, KK is able to get Diaz with the slider up in the zone. When KK is going well, when Kim's got to work, and he'll throw that fastball up there, then throw the slider right off of it. He'll back foot it to righties. Had such good feel for that pitch all of last season.
The 23-year-old out of Carlsbad, New Mexico, Trevor Rogers, committed to play with the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. 13th overall selection back in 2017. Signed for about $3.5 million and then rapid rise through the Marlins system. And here he is in the big leagues and considered one of the top young players and pitchers in the game today.
He's been showing it off this year. When you're looking around at rookie leaders for pitchers, he's up there, wins, ERA, strikeouts. I mean, he's ahead of them all.
Well, you can't lose him. 3-0.
Right down the middle, make him beat you.
Yes. Cardinals, it worked out perfectly last night. Wainwright gave you 6, and then the big 3 did their thing in the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th, and that pitch taken inside for a ball, and he walks the pitcher. 2 walks in the inning and 3 in the first 2 innings.
Yeah, the walks overall are an issue, have been an issue for the season, but specifically for KK on this one, coming back off the IL. And it was only 10 days that he spent there, but you are still going to be watching the pitch count. If you're trying to get him a little bit deeper into the ball game, the free passes, they are not going to help.
KK threw his side at Wrigley Field on Sunday and said he was okay to make this start. So the 3 walks ties his career high, 5th time he's done that. Top of the lineup, and Chisholm at the plate. Swung at the first pitch, flied out to right, and the base hit with the bases loaded last night and brought in 2. Marlins are high on this young man. Good player.
Yeah, saw him working on the field earlier. Trey Hillman was hitting line drives at him as he's on a knee, working on the glove work. He's a good young player, exciting player.
And a high fly ball lifted into deep right field. Thomas back with room and makes the catch. Just enough room in right field. O'Neill, Molina, and Sosa coming up. Today we are participating in the Home Run Challenge, and every home run in this game raises money for prostate cancer research. So far, $195,000 has been raised in the challenge, and you can make a pledge. Go online to homerunchallenge.org. Pretty famous day in baseball history, certainly St. Louis Cardinals history. And the Cardinals brought number 20 to St. Louis. His career changed, and the fortunes of this franchise changed. 938 stolen bases, second all-time, 6-time All-Star, couple of World Championships, went to 3 different World Series, over 3,000 hits, and the Hall of Fame in 1985. Became a different player once he left Chicago, and the base burglar here in St. Louis.
Kind of depends on which side of this you're on, but this one is often brought up as one of the best, or maybe worst, depending on what side you're on, trade ever in the history of baseball. What an amazing man Lou was, and amazing moments that he gave Cardinal fans over the years.
And I bet Lou's family is watching tonight, and we say hello to them and wish them nothing but the best. Such a great family. Miss Lou every day. Here's Tyler O'Neill. Is he turning into an all-star here in 2021?
Yeah, well, one thing that pops out, we all knew about the power and you know about the speed. I don't know, average isn't a thing apparently in baseball anymore, but I think it's important. He's hitting 291. Like, this guy is up there. You look at the approach, you look at the way that he's taking pitches, showing off the home run, 960 OPS. I mean, he's got the total package right now, and you can just tell by watching him. This isn't a fluke. Like, this is who he is. Will he always hit for this kind of average? Maybe not. Will he have the strikeouts in his game? Yes. Like, that ends up being part of it. But he's put it all together here now at the big league level.
20-game on-base streak coming into play. 365 the average during these 20 games. 8 home runs. He's driven in 17. Had a couple of doubles in the ball game last night, including the game-winning double and run batted in. Count even, 2-2. Check swing, did not go. So, Brad, he has 176 plate appearances. His slugging percentage, .630. There's only 3 players in the game with better numbers. Vlad Guerrero Jr., Fernando Tatis Jr., and Jesse Winker, and that is it. That's how good he's been.
3-2. And he's on base again. 21 straight games for Tyler O'Neill. Brad Thompson's Toyota key to the game.
Well, tonight I would say it would be sweat the small stuff. They always say don't sweat the small stuff, but against a pitcher like this, when you got Trevor Rogers on the bump, you know how good he is. The small stuff ends up meaning a lot. So you get a leadoff walk in an inning. Do you get him over? Are you able to manufacture a run? Can you get that big hit? The small things are going to add up in a ball game when you're facing a talented pitcher like Trevor Rogers, so the Cardinals need to sweat those.
I wouldn't mind seeing a little hit and run here with this combination.
Got the right guy up.
Yep.
You know he can handle the bat on anything, even if it's a tough pitch. Heck, we've seen Yachty throw his bat during hit and runs. He'll make it happen somehow, some way.
No doubt. Huge hole on the right side of the infield. O'Neill with good speed at first base. And it's 0-2.
Rogers pulled the string right there. Good changeup.
O'Neill, his 4th walk in June. He had 3 in the first 2 months of this season. He's at first base. Yachty 10 for 25 against left-handed pitching this year. That's a .400 average. In the hole, 0-2. 1-2 the count. Big gap in left center in the outfield.
Trevor's got some options here. He's got some weapons. Good changeup he's shown already. Slider's been a little erratic. He loves finishing off hitters, though, with his fastball. We saw it with Goldie.
Well, maybe a reason that Mike Schilt doesn't have a hit and run on is because of this. He'll pull the left-handers more so than take the ball to right field. Well, there's a number for everything.
It is really amazing.
It is. The 2-2 inside, and now a full count from 0-2. Runs it full. Let's see if he wants to start the runner here on 3-2. You have a guy that doesn't strike out all that much. He'll put the ball in play. Many times it's on the ground too.
Well, it makes the decision a little bit easier when you have wheels like that.
Yep.
Over at first base.
O'Neill is running, and it's hit out of play. That's the thing too. Tyler O'Neill, not a very big lead at first base. Have you noticed that? I mean, with his speed, top 5 in baseball in sprint speed, not much of a lead at first. Fun player to watch.
Yeah, he is for sure. And like everything else, I mean, he's still a player that is growing. Maybe that ends up being like that next little piece of the puzzle, is how he turns himself into a base stealer.
3-2. There he goes. Swung on and missed. Throw down to second, and they got him. Didn't get a very good jump. Caught stealing. Second strikeout for Trevor Rogers.
Well, you're right. It wasn't the best jump. They took a look at it and said, we're not going to challenge it right here. And get a look at the pitch. Fastball, 96. Good throw.
Ooh, boy.
It's close to it, and little stuff like that, right? Maybe it comes down to the lead that we were talking about a minute ago, Dan, that you bring up. A short lead, maybe you get a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit better jump. You go there, but you also oftentimes think Yadi's going to put the ball in play anyhow.
Start number 26 for Sosa this year. 94 plate appearances. His average above 300, a 785 OPS as a starter. Couple of hits last night. 26 hits as a starter. And 5 have gone for extra base hits. So he has produced both defensively and at the plate. In the hole, 0-2. Puts it in play softly. Gloved by Birdie, and a high throw. Aguilar is off the bag. Sosa hustling down the line. He immediately pointed to the bag as if to say that Aguilar was off the bag. Look at all the guys in the dugout laughing at Aguilar. Is Aguilar saying something to the guys in the dugout?
Yeah, he's got something to say all the time. They are going to take a look at this, and it seemed like Sosa sold it pretty well. Tough to tell from that angle right there, but Sosa believed that this might be a little bit better look.
I'm not sure how you overturn that with these angles that we have right now.
Yeah, that's the thing with a call like this. If it had gone the other way and the call was out, I'd feel the same way. I think it would be very difficult.
Aguilar is saying, don't worry about checking in with New York. I got him.
Come on in. Trust me.
And the other guys are following suit.
Except for your pitcher. Because Trevor Rogers saying, you know what, I'm just going to hang here just in case. I believe you, but.
And so they're going to call him out. So they do get him. And we head to the third. Marte, Aguilar, Duvall coming up. Scoreless game. Great to have the fans back at the ballpark and the T-Mobile coverage cam here in downtown St. Louis and Busch Stadium. Jim Hayes, Brad Thompson, Dan McLaughlin with you, and the ball taken by Starling Marte as we're underway here in the top of the third. And there's no score. One hit in this game. That was a single to left by Aguilar, who's on deck. Quickly, 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, this was the count last time that Starling Marte was up, and he was able to get him to ground out to third base with a well-located pitch down in the zone. Not how you draw it up, falling behind. You want to be able to attack, especially with his stuff, but he's got the stuff to get out of it.
Falls behind 3-0. We mentioned the Cardinals looking for just their third series win in the last 4 weeks. The first 2 coming against the Pirates and the Diamondbacks. That's off the plate. 4 straight. Bucks and D-backs. Marlins have 3 of the National League's 4 worst records. Also Colorado. And all these teams are coming up in a stretch of games for the Cardinals. So a very important stretch of baseball for St. Louis, and that'll be walk number 4 for KK.
Well, you get a look at the numbers right there. 35 pitches, 21 of them have been balls so far. And it's easy to say, hey, throw a strike, pump it down the middle. It's a different thing when you just don't have the feel for it right now, which obviously is kind of hit or miss for Kim.
Aguilar, the base hit to left, his first time up. In the month of June, he's driven in 11 with 3 home runs, hitting .314. League leader in RBI. On the inside corner, and there's a strike. Teams just aren't running against the St. Louis Cardinals. I wonder why.
I was just going to ask you the same rhetorical question. And why is that, Dan?
Well, right now, stolen bases allowed 17, second fewest in all of baseball. And the guy behind the plate has something to do with that.
Well, I think that after last night, too, they might be a little gun shy to get too far off of first base. As the beautiful back pick last night on a failed bunt attempt by Curtis. Beautiful play between Yachty and Sosa.
And Marte is the kind of guy you would think about to swipe a bag. 1-2 the count on Aguilar. Only team with fewer stolen bases allowed, and that's Houston. 16 as time is called. One and two the count. Missed on the inside corner. 2-2. Last night it was Yachty's 52nd career pickoff. That's 4th most now in Major League Baseball. It's incredible.
It's so fun to watch. It really is. Especially the plays like last night, like the timing, everything about it has to be perfect. I thought that you laid it out perfectly. It was like leading a receiver. You know, you see quarterbacks that are so good at that, knowing where they're going to be. That was the case last night.
And also the timing in the game. The Cardinals need a little pick-me-up too.
Yeah, got a boost.
Got the crowd into it a little bit. Got to think that Marte's running on this pitch. Full count here on Aguilar. We'll see. 3-2 pitch. There he goes. And a base hit into center field. Carlson cuts it off quickly back into the infield. Missed the cut. Aguilar to second. Miscommunication on the throw back into the infield, and Aguilar takes advantage of the Cardinal mistake, and it's runners at second and third and nobody out.
Even Aguilar looked at that ball in the infield and wasn't sure that he should go, and nobody is around this. We'll look at the Chevy pitch tracks here. Backdoor breaking ball. Pretty good pitch. Even better job by Aguilar to stay on this one. Carlson turns and burns it and just sails it over DeYoung at short.
Tonight the Marlins 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Duvall, though, .333 this season, their cleanup hitter in their lineup this evening. Second and third, nobody out. And ball one.
Yeah, that's the thing about Duvall. You look at the overall bulk of his numbers and you say, oh, okay, well, he's hitting .203. Not too scary. Well, .333 with 5 home runs with runners in scoring position. His hits have been at very good times.
Driven in 41. Cardinals shift on the left side of the infield. And the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. Duvall, the highest fly ball rate in the major leagues at 41%, and that's one way to bring in a runner at third and less than 2 outs. And now Mike Maddox coming out, and they'll check on KK and talk about this situation. Slow him down a little bit too. Quick word from the Missouri Division of Tourism.
What's your MO?
It is also Yonsei Craig Choi, that is the translator for Kwang Hun Kim, to go out with Mike Maddox. Great chance here for Miami. 2 balls, no strikes. Runners at second and third, and nobody out.
Well, and especially with Rogers on the mound, that's a guy you feel like you give him a couple runs, he'll make it stand up. So Kim's going to have to bear down in a hurry right here, start executing some pitches.
The 2-0 pitch. And a base hit into left field. 1 run is in. Aguilar is going to be held up at third. Throw is a miscut again, and with that, Duvall will take second base. 2 miscuts in the inning.
What was our key to the game? Sweat the small stuff. In a ball game like this, the small stuff has an opportunity to show up when the opposition's got a good pitcher on the bump. You know it's going to be a tight one, and the little details can end up mattering. This one, a breaking ball down in the zone. Duvall sees it out of the hand. Tyler O'Neill, who we know has got a great arm, just ends up sailing Arenado. He's almost able to corral it. Yachty does a good job of getting the deflection, but Duvall able to take second. Got to be able to hit the cutoff man. Got to keep the throw down.
Give the Marlins some credit here with their base running. There's Sanchez, and that's out of play. Came up with 2 runners on and grounded out to Edmundo Sosa at second to end a threat back in the first. So Carlson had his second error of the season and of his career, both coming in center field. The miscut. You have a miscut in left by O'Neill, and all kinds of issues now for the Cardinals. The 0-1.
Is he doing the Soto shuffle right now?
He's got a little bit of that. He's been dancing from the time that he got to St. Louis.
Little known fact, this is how you enter the booth. You sit in your chair and there's a little bit of a rock. Same hip movement.
Cardinals score. I do the rights holder shuffle.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And that's hit out of play. Commonly referred to as the worm.
Yeah, well, and honestly, I thought it was way too narrow where we're at for you to do it, but
no problems.
Oh, you've got it.
No big deal. Just haven't been doing enough of them lately.
Yeah, we'll get you going.
Okay.
We'll break you in. Warm weather's here.
Yeah.
Bats heat up. So does your back for the worm.
1-2 pitch. Outside 2-2. Cardinals have the infield in a few steps. Looks like Jesus Sanchez is not short on confidence. I'll say that.
He's also excited to be here.
You got it.
I enjoy watching that.
His ground out in the first was 104 miles per hour. The 2-2. That's a little bit of that Soto shuffle.
That's it. The watching it all the way in, too. I mean, he's watching that all the way into the mitt of Yadier Molina.
This will be pitch number 50. Kim has walked 4 in this game and allowed 3 hits, trailing the score of 1-0. John Birdie on deck, the 3-2. Off the end of the bat, Arenado gloves and gets the out.
Kim's just able to get Sanchez right off the end of the bat. Nice job by Nolan, coming in crashing hard.
And Aguilar, obviously with nobody out, not running on contact, so he stays put at third. Gives John Birdie a shot here, hitting 167 with runners in scoring position. Second and third, 1 out. Birdie walked back in the second. Corners are in. And there's strike 1. That goes Kim's way, and that's a big strike for him. Get ahead here and see what you can do.
It's amazing how many doors it opens, and the numbers all bear it out. Certainly when you're ahead, when you're commanding counts, when you continue to just pour in strikes, you put the opposition on their heels. When you're not, you find yourself on your heels, and they're jumping all over things.
Evens it up at 1-1. Already their 6th at bat with a runner in scoring position this evening. They were 1 for 2 in the entire game last night. Infield is in. The 1-1. Broke his bat. And there's 2 strikes. And if there was ever a time for a strikeout, this would be it. Looks like he might be able to get in. The Cardinals have tried to do that in this series with Birdie.
Yeah, certainly can. And there's room in there with the fastball. But we saw, especially last year, how good he was just with that slider back foot to the righties. And we saw multiple times last year where righties would be swinging at a pitch that was about to hit him and would end up bailing out of the way. So if he can bury one of those down and into Birdie, it'd be a really nice pitch here.
Gets a new piece of lumber, and away we go. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and two.
Went with the slider, just didn't get it there. The strikeout here is huge. It feels like more than a 1-run deficit the way that it's gone so far. You get a punch out here, get the next guy, get out of this inning.
2-2 outside corner, doesn't go his way, and a 3-2 pitch. And a big pitch in this game, especially with a guy like Rogers on the mound, who has been very, very good to start his big league career. Rogers has given up 3 or fewer runs in 14 straight starts dating back to last year. 3-2 pitch and a ground ball hit to Sosa. Gets it on a short hop. Underhands to Goldie. And there's 2 away. So a pair of ground outs, and now he's 1 out away from pitching out of this jam. And how big would that be?
It would be enormous. Again, a momentum shifter. Throw strikes, use your defense. Sosa does a nice job of catching this ball on the short hop. He looks back Aguilar to make sure he's not going anywhere. Dancing a little bit over at third. Not as well as you do up here, Dan, but nonetheless dancing over at third base.
His was much better.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it was.
We'll get an ISO cam on you in a couple of innings.
For sure.
We'll let the people see. And be the judge.
There's Sandy Leon, and that is taken for a ball. To put in perspective, partner, what Rogers has done, it's the longest streak by any Marlin since the late Jose Fernandez, who had 20 of those. Rogers has done that now 14 straight. So that's why this inning is so big, just to keep it at 1 run. Just doesn't give up many runs. Here's the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Leon 1 for 17 with runners in scoring position this year. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball. DeYoung backhands with time. Makes the play. So the Marlins pick up a run and a lead, but it could have been much worse. Midway through 3, 1-0. Calling all teachers, kick off your summer break at Busch Stadium. Teachers Night returns at the ballpark, and that's Monday, June 28th, Tuesday, June 29th. And the purchase of a special theme ticket, teachers will take home an exclusive teachers-themed Cardinals cap. For more information, visit cardinals.com/theme. You may remember the Cardinals saw Trevor Rogers back on the 5th of April in Miami. That was a sweep for St. Louis. It was his season debut. 3 runs, 4 innings. He walked a season high 4 in that game. But since that time, he has been very, very good. So the Cardinals are trailing 1-0 here tonight as we move to the home half of the 3rd, and it's Paul DeJong. Mentioned the comparison to Jose Fernandez in terms of statistically 3 or fewer runs in 14 straight. Fernandez did it in 20 back in 2013 and 14. Jose Fernandez was remarkable, especially at home. And they feel they have a very good one in this lefty.
Yeah, Jose Fernandez was must-see TV. Anytime he was on the bump, you had to watch him. Rookie of the Year in 2013, and they very well might just have another one on their hands here in Rogers.
First pitcher in the history of their organization. 81 strikeouts, ERA below 2 in his first 12 starts of a season. And a strikeout of DeJong. DeJong, since his return from the IL, is 1 for 14.
Well, not exactly where he was trying to put it, but he gets the call from home plate umpire Chris Guccione, trying to go in on DeJong, freezes him with the fastball down, maybe a little bit under the zone. Pitcher's pitch.
Lane Thomas getting the start tonight in right field. And looks at a ball inside, apparently. Been a tough start this year for Lane. 0.95. 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 2.
It's a tough pitch right there. Perfectly placed slider right on the inner half. You know you got to be able to be ready to sell out for 96, 97 away, and then he throws that on you.
No hits allowed so far. He has walked 1. He has struck out 3. 2 and 2. One of the things the Cardinals could do is just try some way, somehow, to get the pitch count high and get in the bullpen. It's at 37 pitches, so keep an eye on that. Get him out of this game one way or another.
Yeah, be relentless.
Off the glove of Rogers, and to short. Chisholm makes the play. And that'll go 1-6-3. And the batter will be Kim. In your opinion, do you think Kim is still compromised with the back as you watch him?
When I watch him, I see him having difficulty finishing pitches. Like, you just don't see that consistently downward action. So there could be something there. In fairness, I think that we've seen a lot of that throughout the season. Remember, he started the season on the IL. By the way, I bet he's been given some orders as a hitter to not try to do a ton. Remember, that's how he went on the IL, busting out a ball down the first base line against the Reds. Felt the tweak in his back.
I think you have to wonder if the Cardinals have said, no matter what, don't swing.
Yeah, be up there, look hitterish.
Yep.
Maybe he'll walk you.
And Rogers probably knows that, and it becomes tough to throw that strike. We see it all the time. There it is, 2-1. Why is that? I mean, they tell guys, look, he's not going to swing the bat. Throw a strike.
I don't know.
It's hard for you guys.
It's the mental game of it. It's like, you know, all you got to do is throw it right there. I'd rather think he's going to hit a home run or something. Then you like focus that tiny bit more of making the good, perfect pitch. KK does not look all too interested in swinging the bat here. And I get it.
And the 2-2. Swings and misses. First time through the lineup. 4 strikeouts, 2 in the inning. And we move to the 4th, and it's 1-0 Miami. Download the McDonald's app and grab a $1 any size frozen beverage every game day at McDonald's. Folks in Big Mac land. 1-0 as we move to the top of the 4th. Major League Baseball announcing new guidance to crack down against the use of foreign substances. This will be effective June 21st. And I think the big thing here, Brad, is the fact that a pitcher could be suspended for 10 days and then his spot could not be replaced on the roster.
That is huge, because I know a lot of people have looked at this and said, well, a 10-game paid suspension, because it is paid. So what kind of a deterrent is that? Well, the deterrent is you hurt your ball club.
That's hit out in front of the plate. Yachty pounces on it. Fair ball. 1 pitch, 1 away, and Diaz retired, the 8th place hitter, to start play in the 4th.
I like that. I like that a lot. Throw a strike, get a quick out. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this all goes down. As you saw in the graphic, I mean, there's going to be random checks, both teams, and they're really trying to crack down on it. Offense has been low, and they're trying to figure out ways to level the playing field a little bit. So we'll keep our eye on it. We'll see if we notice any differences.
So this would be regular checks of all pitchers, regardless of whether an opposing club's manager makes a request. Any pitcher who possesses or applies foreign substances will be ejected from the game, automatically suspended for 10 games. And this is in conjunction with the fact that baseball is doing a lot of extensive research, testing, and much of that was done by researchers, third parties, and they're seeing the spin rates and the movement of the baseball just explode. And because of that, they want to get more offense in the game, and that's what we have. Now it comes in the middle of a season, which is unique in itself, and some of the pitchers not happy about this. Tyler Glasnow was very vocal about it. Others have been as well, and we'll see how it's received on the 21st.
Well, Tyler Glasnow essentially blamed this on his injury.
Yes.
Saying the fact that he couldn't get his normal grip and had to overcompensate. So we'll see. There will certainly be backlash on it. I'm not sure how much I buy into that side of it, but it's going to be adjustment for several players around the league. So let's see what they do with it. Now, I think that there is some frustration from some players saying that treating sunscreen and rosin, which is an easily mixed up thing, two things that people wear, and it does give you a little stick. Treating that and spider tack, which was invented for weightlifters. You know, the Atlas ball, the big concrete stones, to lift those. That's what that was for. And they'd stick it on their arms and their hands and their chest. Now guys are putting this on baseballs and ripping off ridiculous breaking balls and spinning four seams. It seems to be a bit of a difference between the products, but Major League Baseball says, forget it. You can't do any of it. We gave you an inch. You took a mile. We're taking it back.
Interesting timing of it, too, though. Middle of the season to do that. That's inside 2-2 on Chisholm.
Well, at the very least, at least the relationship between the players and the league, it's at an all-time high. So that's good.
Oh boy,
these two.
Let's just say it's a jumping off point to maybe better things, huh?
I hope so. It is for sure. At the end of it, nobody wants to hear about this stuff. We don't want to be talking about foreign substances and what guys are or not doing. I want to see good baseball.
I was talking with somebody that said the studies had resulted in a 30% increase in the positive results for pitchers, and basically equated this to the steroid era for pitchers of what it was doing the steroid era for hitters. one way to look at it, I guess. Swing and a miss by Chisholm. Cardinals need to get some offense going. Down by a run. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. And by Steel. Find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com. Beautiful night in the Gateway City. Dylan Carlson leads it off. So where do you stand with this? I mean, do you think it's good for the game to do this now, or should they have waited? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that Major League Baseball was looking at their product right now, seeing the offense is at an all-time low and saying they felt like they had to act. Now, do I think it's going to be an easy thing to do midstream? No. I also don't think it was going to be an easy thing to throw right into collective bargaining. And the idea of it is, it's not like they're breaking out a new rule. This was already in the rule books already. The 10-game suspension was there. They just have realized how big of a problem it has blossomed into, and felt like they had to do something about it. And I understand the idea of cheating is cheating. I do think that some guys have taken it a lot further, and that's what they're trying to stop. But they're trying to throw a wrench in a little bit of everything. So I believe it will end up being a good thing for the game, but there's going to be certainly a lot of pushback. You've already heard a lot of guys. Glass now push back. Scherzer, another guy that had some comments about it. So plenty of guys not happy about maybe the timing and what specifically Major League Baseball is trying to do.
Well, KK, in the fourth, 11 pitches, 8 were strikes. Maybe that gets him going. And Dylan Carlson maybe gets the offense going for the Cardinals, their first base hit tonight. Aguilar staring at Carlson as he rounds the first base bag, and the Cardinals have their first hit tonight.
Well, your Plaza Tire Service pitch tracks. It's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball down in the zone, and Dylan serves that thing out into left field. And we go back talking about that third inning. The Cardinals limiting the damage to only 1 run. Felt like a momentum shifter. Certainly does here now where you got the heart of your order up.
Paul Goldschmidt struck out swinging first time up. Carlson, by the way, close to a 400 average against lefties, and at home 350. And a check on Dylan.
Been keeping an eye on Jesus Aguilar. He cracks me up during the ball game.
Me too. I like guys that have personality and show a side of them to have a little fun. It's okay to smile and have fun.
I forget who it was a couple of weeks ago, but there was a catcher on first base against the Marlins, and the catchers wear the wristbands. You have all the signs on them, your what your sequences are, and he's flipping the signs, flipping the wristband up, looking at it. It was great.
Yeah. 0-2 instead of check on Carlson. Characters in the game.
It was Carson Kelly. Is who it was. Carson, come on, man, you're gonna get me in trouble. Can't remake these signs right now.
0-2 pitch. And Goldie hits a fly ball into center. Taken by Marte. Cuts in front of Sanchez to make the play. And back to the bag at first goes Dylan Carlson. Cardinals vacations, it is back. You can join them in Cleveland. 25th through the 29th. Baseball, football, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Number to call 800-892-7686. Shane Bieber, by the way, just went on the injured list for the Indians. More and more we're seeing the injuries popping up.
It stinks. And you talked about it earlier. We were talking about the Cardinals and their injuries. And nice to get some reinforcements, get KK back. Got DeYoung back over the weekend. Every team is dealing with it, and it ends up being who can step up for you. Organizational depth is getting tested. Got tested last year, and these two teams got tested more than anybody in baseball, but it's getting tested yet again. And the problem is with that organizational depth, Dan, is that the minor leagues are getting hit harder with injuries because they didn't play last year.
That's right. The Cardinals are just getting Nootbaar back from being on the IL down in the minor leagues. You don't know if maybe he would have gotten a shot. Scott Hurst was on the IL, another outfielder. They've been dealing with a ton of it. 0-1 pitch to Nolan Arenado. Out in front, popped it up. Birdie, the second baseman, makes the catch. 2 outs. And Tyler O'Neill. Cardinals with 1 hit tonight.
Well, this is a pretty good at bat last time out for Tyler O'Neill. Drew a walk, made Rogers work a little bit, saw everything that he had. Let's see if he can see one center cut.
And the 1-0 pitch. Wonder how many well, we're hearing from a lot of the pitchers. I haven't seen much from many position players saying that I want to see the grip for pitchers because I'm concerned about a ball getting away and hit me in the head. I haven't heard many.
No, I don't think that there's as much concern about that. I think that the guys believe that the pitchers can do that just fine.
Yeah. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled back in a good rip.
And the numbers will bear it out. I mean, when this starts being implemented on the 21st.
It already has.
Oh, yeah, for sure it has. We've seen spin rates go down. We've seen offense and average go up a little bit. Kind of like we've talked about the rule changes in the minor leagues at different levels, trying different things. And at the end of the year, you'll get a good grasp on what works, what doesn't. It'll be the same thing here.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. And a strikeout of O'Neill. That's 5 tonight for Trevor Rogers. And we move to the 5th in a 1-run game.
We go to the 5th in St. Louis. Cards down 1-0. Mike Schilt called it baseball's dirty little secret. Pitchers using ultra sticky substances to enhance their spin rate. As Danny mentioned, baseball starting June 21st will be cracking down, and Schilt is pleased. Schilt said they clearly documented that this is an issue that needs to be corralled. I applaud them. Schilt said it'll be good for baseball. He said, I think you'll see lower strikeouts. You're already seeing higher batting averages the last 2 weeks. I think you're going to see a game that's more about balls in play and action. And Danny Schilt had put himself out there calling for this. He got it.
Yes, he did. And you know, I think if you look at it, maybe the Cardinals one of the first teams to deal with it this year in the Giovanni Gallegos situation, and still haven't heard what the word was from Major League Baseball on that. As Kim reaches for it, makes the play, and Marte retired. Unless I missed it.
No, I have not heard either. And that was one that I believe, and it was Buster Olney talking about this, that both sides at the time were very upset about that. The Players Union side and Major League Baseball side, because all of these talks were going on beforehand. And then you get a player that his hat is taken away, and that it caused a little bit of an uproar. But hey, they're going to figure this out. They're going to do so together. And from what Mike Schilt is talking about, when it's more action, more balls in play, great. Like, that's what we all want to see, isn't it?
Got to have action. So 1 out and nobody on, and a strike to Aguilar. And let's see now if Kim can settle in just a bit after the RBI single from Duvall back in the third. At 7 in a row, he is retired. Marlins had a really good opportunity to add on. They had nobody out, runners at second and third, and did not score. And it's a 1-0 game. Taken high, and it's 2-1.
Feel like that 11 pitch inning in the fourth really gave him a bit of a boost. Came out this inning pumping strikes again. Know that Aguilar is a guy you want to be careful with, but down and away is the approach with him. Go after him. Build on that. Build on that momentum he built last inning.
3-1 pitch. And he walked him. So for Kim, that is his 5th walk he's allowed. Quick word from Victory Men's Health.
You gave me my youth back.
Improved strength, muscle mass, and energy.
Thanks to Victory Men's Health, there are more guys feeling better than ever. Join the movement. Visit victorymenshealth.com.
Snaps a string of 7 in a row set down by Kim. And the batter will be Adam Duvall. Walked in the first. Single and an RBI, a base hit to left. That was in the third, and that's a ball. Aguilar on base for the 3rd time tonight, pair of singles and that walk moments ago. So the Cardinals and Marlins playing for the 5th time this season. St. Louis has won the first 4 meetings. And the Marlins have scored a total of 5 runs coming into play tonight. That's 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, he looked like he was rolling for a bit. The 11 pitches in the 4th inning. The quick out on Starling Marte, but then a walk and 2-0. We'll see if he can kind of find what he had there for a minute.
They're starting to stretch a little bit down in the St. Louis bullpen. Pitch number 80 coming up here from Kim. Hammered foul. 2-1. Pitches by inning for Kwang Hyun Kim. And to your point, his best inning was in the 4th, and that was quick after the inning in which the Marlins picked up a run, and he really had to labor to get those 3 outs.
Yeah, he did for sure. Sitting right now at 80 pitches, trying to make the most of what he's got left. And Mike Schultz did talk about this before the game. He said it's not going to be necessarily about a pitch count. They looked at KK the way that he was on the IL for 10 days as almost like, hey, you skip a start. Sometimes you do that to build the guy some extra rest. So they weren't necessarily worried about him hitting a specific number, but it was going to be about what did they see. We're seeing too many bad counts right now and too many free passes.
On the 3-1 pitch, it's hit in the air out to left field. O'Neill under it. 2 outs. Aguilar back to the bag at first. First time that Duvall has been retired tonight. Jesus Sanchez. With 2 outs, runner at first, he is grounded out twice, once to second, the other time to third, 0 for 2. Well off the line is Nolan Arenado at third. DeYoung near the bag at second base. Sosa on the outfield grass and Goldschmidt playing behind, and there's strike 1.
It is 3 at-bats in a row where Sanchez has come out of his shoes on the first pitch. A good job and good recognition there by Yachty, trying to get inside. Kim does a good job of getting it there. He wants to get extended.
The 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Aguilar, between just about every pitch, is chirping with the Cardinal dugout.
He hasn't stopped talking the entire game.
Not at all. Just like Paul Goldschmidt.
Same guy.
Here's a 1-1. Floats in there for a strike, and it's 1-2.
It's the beauty of baseball, isn't it? Both great ambassadors of the game in different ways.
This season, with runners on, 74 times against Kim this season. The opponent hitting .216. Miami 2 for 10 with runners on tonight. Couple of walks. Trying to add to it. Kim here. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Stays a 1-run Marlins lead. This break in the action is brought to you by Ford and the fully electric F-150 Lightning. Let's take a look at it. That break in the action brought to you by Ford Motor Company. Built Ford proud. We're in St. Louis in Busch Stadium, 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Cardinals check in with a record of 33-33. 500. Expectations pretty high for this Cardinals team, and they're at 500. And since 2000, so the last 22 seasons, only 2 years, we've seen this club under 500 through the first 66 games. It happened in 17, happened in 07 after the championship club. Last night the Cardinals came in under 500, picked up the win, and they start play tonight at 33-33.
Would be nice to leave 500 in the rearview mirror again for the Cardinals. Not easy to do, but you're right. Like, the expectations are high, and they're high rightfully so. You go out and acquire Nolan Arenado. You add him to Paul Goldschmidt, a young nucleus who we've already seen grow this year. Like, there should be high expectations. There should be excitement around this ball club. They just haven't clicked yet. Like, this group has not fully clicked, and certainly the injuries have had a lot to do with that, but you know more is there.
The 2-1 pitch to Yadier Molina. And Molina hits a high fly ball into right center. Marte on the track to make the catch. Yadier for 2. And the batter will be Edmundo Sosa. Trevor Rogers has been everything we thought he might be tonight. 1 walk. He has struck out 5. 1 hit allowed. Sosa grounded out to second, first time up. And that's ball 1. Shift on to the left side. Outfield shading a bit to right center. And Sosa hits a fly ball down the right field line. Duvall is over and almost overran it. And makes the catch near the sidewall for out number 2.
Got a couple of adventures out there in right field for Duvall already. A couple of balls that he had overrun. It's not a windy night here at Busch Stadium. Almost catch a break.
Here's Paul DeYoung. Struck out looking back in the 3rd. Last year played in just 45 games, hit 3 homers. And this season, game number 40 of his season tonight. 8 home runs already. Hits that out of play. So he's 1 for 14 in his return from the IL, and that 1 hit, a home run at Wrigley over the weekend. Marlins shift on the left side of the infield. Outfield just about straight away, pretty deep for DeYoung. And the 1-1.
I think where Paul's hitting in the lineup right now ends up being probably a good thing for him. You spend a decent amount of time on the IL. You want to be able to ease back into action. Remember, at the beginning of the year, he was the 4-hole hitter. It was a slow start for him. Has the opportunity here a little bit later in the lineup to just kind of get right and get a feel for things, because this lineup's a lot different when he does so.
The 1-2 pitch. Hits it to Aguilar, and he'll take it himself to the bag for the out. And a 1-2-3 inning. Trevor Rogers. 6th inning rolls in when we come back. 1-0. You can celebrate the return of summer and the return of full capacity here at Busch Stadium. Limited time. Fans can purchase $6 Cardinals tickets and get a free hot dog thanks to Nathan's Famous, the official hot dog of the Cardinals. And visit cardinals.com/Nathans. Well, this is good to see that Kim is pitching into the top of the 6th. You weren't sure about that with the way things were going in the 3rd inning. That could have gotten away very easily.
Yeah, it could have for sure. And here's the thing that we all know. It's easy to pitch when you have your best stuff and you're able to locate a little bit of everything. It's difficult to battle through when you're kind of feeling for command, which obviously Kim is doing that in this ball game. He's issued 5 walks already. A couple of them have been on 4 pitches. But he's battled, and he's really made some pitches when he's had to. You know that Mike Schilt, Mike Maddox appreciate that part.
3-1 the count on John Birdie. Kim has walked 5 in this game. Andrew Miller throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. Hit to third, backhanded. Arenado slings it to Goldie for the out. Birdie 0 for 2 with a walk. And the batter will be Sandy Leon, who is 0 for 2.
Nolan backs up, makes sure he gets that perfect hop, sets his feet quickly, and makes a strong throw.
I'd love to sit down both Scott Rowland and Nolan Arenado and talk about routine plays and great plays and how they prepared for both. And what would you do on that? How about your footwork? What do you think about, do you sling it over there? Do you take it over the top when you make your throw? 2 of the best ever. They do it differently when you watch him play. And I did a great majority of Scott's games. You saw him, and now we're watching Nolan every day. They do it differently, but man, it's just incredible to watch.
Yeah, the nuances of that position too. Like when you start, you know a breaking ball's coming. You start shifting a little bit, and I don't know. It's fun to watch, guys. There's very little reaction time on a lot of those plays over there at the hot corner, and those are 2 of the best that I've personally seen ever do it.
I mean, you saw it up close. You were his teammate. He helped you out a bunch.
Helped me out a ton. Look, if you don't think my numbers were great for my career, that's fair, but they could have been a lot worse. Thank you, Scott.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. You're a ground ball pitcher, and Dave Duncan, his whole thing was sink it, 2-seamers, get ground balls, use your defense.
That's why I keep harping on it this year for the Cardinals. Like, use these guys behind you. You got some great gloves. It's amazing how good they can make you look. And that was the thing, anything over there, and I know the same to be true for Nolan Arenado. Anything hit that way, you don't even have to look as a pitcher. You know that play's made.
3-1 pitch. Out of play, and it's 3-2. I mean, Nolan actually practices the ridiculous. You know, he'll practice throwing from his backside, and you know, will be laying on his back to go get a ball and things of that nature. Now, I don't know if Rowland did those kind of things or if it just kind of came natural on one of those crazy plays, but he would work on different things that other guys didn't. There's a strikeout, and that's number 5 for Kim tonight.
Just a perfectly located fastball down and away right here to Sandy Leon. It's a great pitch. Starting to spot up a little bit here.
This will be Kim's final inning of work. He's at 97 pitches. His spot 2 up second for the Cardinals. Looking into the bottom of the 6th. breaking ball and a strike. Gets that call to Diaz.
Well, if he's able to get Diaz here, this will be his longest outing of the season. He's been 5 2/3 now 3 times. Has not gotten through 6 yet.
Looking for his first quality start of the year as we play here in the middle of June 15th. Didn't see that coming.
No, and he also, spent a couple of stints on the IL, started the season there, just spent the last 10 days on it. But no, he has not looked like the same guy from last year. But when he's on, that 28 pitch 3rd inning, boosted that pitch count quite a bit, bounced back really well in the 4th.
Pitch number 101 of the night. His season and career high here in St. Louis is 104. Two balls and 2 strikes. 102 pitches tonight for Kim. Finishes it with a strikeout, his 6th of the night, and 1 run allowed. You take that through 6, and it's a 1-run game. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. 1-0 Miami. And our Budweiser What's on Tap. Quick turnaround for these teams. Sandy Alcantara, the former Cardinal, part of the Marcell Ozuna deal, will go for Miami. Johan Oviedo for St. Louis, looking for his first major league win. Pitched well against Chicago until that 5th inning, then ran into a wall and had a 5-1 lead at one point. And we're on the air tomorrow at 11:30 on Bally Sports.
I thought Oviedo had that win in hand. He looked so good. He is due. We've seen him grow the last couple of outings. I know he hasn't gotten that win. He's not getting you deeper and deeper into ball games. You've seen him command the strike zone a little bit more and feel. He feels to me more in control lately. So I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be a good battle against him and Sandy Alcantara.
Lane Thomas grounded out first time up. Let's give Trevor Rogers a lot of credit here. He has really made this look easy so far as he's pitching into the 6th and only 1 hit allowed.
I'd love to see him out of the stretch a little bit more. Put a tiny bit of pressure on him. And in fairness, teams around baseball have had a tough time doing that.
1-2 the count. One ball, 2 strikes, and Thomas hits a fly ball into center. Starling Marte for the catch and the out. This year you can get 100% MLB verified tickets easier than ever. StubHub, the official partner of the Cardinals, and they offer the widest selection of seats and prices. Tickets are available on StubHub up until the first pitch. So that'll be it for Kim. And Jose Rondon will pinch hit for Kwon-Hyun Kim, who gives the Cardinals 6 innings, 3 hits allowed, 1 run, and strikes out 6, walks 5 along the way. First pitch to Rondon, a strike.
Well, it certainly did not feel like a game where Kim was going to be able to give you 6 innings.
Not at all.
Navigated around the free passes. I think it looked like he almost loosened up more in the ball game the more that he threw. I don't know if that ends up being kind of the back issues. Looks like he got a little bit more comfortable, more reps, heated up a little bit more, just kind of how the game played out for him. But either way, a heck of a job when you didn't have your best command by Kim.
Andrew Miller and Enesis Cabrera throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. The 0-2 pitch taken inside. How would you describe this motion as you get a look at the 2 lefties of the Cardinals, but the lefty of the starter Miami tonight? It's kind of funky, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, it's the kind of a three-quarter approach, and he crossfires. He gets that in there to righties. He's had a couple of fastballs that he spotted up on the inner half that just dart in there, but then he also uses his fastball up in the zone. It is funky. A lot of times when you see a guy from that arm angle, a lot of times they have problems throwing to their glove side. He doesn't.
He gets it in there.
Yes, he does, and he gets it in there with that slider also.
2-2 the count, and the next by Rogers. Rondon, his first pinch hit, base hit of the year, and the Cardinals have their second hit tonight. The other was Dylan Carlson, and that was back in the fourth. First hit off a lefty, first pinch hit of the year, and maybe the Cardinals get something going here in their half of the sixth. Went down to get it.
Yeah, not an easy pitch to do so right here. This is a changeup way down. Just goes fishing, cost him a bat, and he'll gladly make that trade any day. A big league hit for a baseball bat.
Dylan Carlson fly to right, single to left, 1 for 2. First pitch taken inside for ball 1.
That's that fastball we were just talking about, that one in on the righties, in off the plate. It gets there in a hurry, but then he'll throw that tailing one away also.
The 1-0 pitch to the Cardinal rookie, pulled foul. A ball and a strike. Cardinals came from behind last night, 30th in terms of runs scored 7th inning or later. So a team that doesn't score a lot late. Innings 1 through 6, they're in the top 10. So that was good to see last night. They may have to do that here tonight.
Yeah, a little magic late. Doesn't matter when you score them. You'd love to be able to pile on early and often consistently, but sometimes you got to come from behind and go win a ball game. Have an opportunity here.
And a pickoff. Rondon is back in safely.
Well, pretty quick snap throw right here by Sandy Leon. Tries to catch Rondon sleeping over there. Does a good job of getting back, but that is quick. That was a good arm. And we saw it last night how a similar play kind of shifted the momentum in a ball game. It was Isan Diaz that ended up getting back picked by Yadier Molina and Sosa on a wheel play, on a bunt play.
There's a 1-2 to Carlson. 2-2. Rogers, third time through a lineup. And he does pitch deep into games, but third time through. 183 average, the ERA a bit higher than first and second time through. But it doesn't matter, first, second, or third time through, he's awfully good.
Kind of weird those numbers didn't add up to me.
Yes.
Of why, and maybe it's the long ball.
Runner goes on a 2-2, and that's tap foul. Got to try something here to get it going.
I totally agree, and I like it. I like the idea. You know that Carlson handles the bat well. Been very few mistakes, too, over the middle of the plate for Trevor Rogers so far. Kind of hope maybe you catch one, because Dylan could catch one here at home. Get his first home run at Busch Stadium of the year. And all of a sudden this place is going to go crazy. You got the momentum back.
Leon 4 for 15 and catching base stealers. And Rondon back to the bag at first. In his career, he's 33%.
Stubby Clapp over at first base coach for the Cardinals. He probably feels like he's doing babysitting over there. Got Aguilar the whole time. He's telling, just stay here. He's still got the ball. He's messing with you. He does this all the time.
Might wear you out.
He probably does.
The 2-2 pitch to Dylan Carlson. Here it comes, and they picked him off, and they throw it away. Maybe the break the Cardinals need. Rondon slid into the bag at second, now to third, standing up. The Cardinals will get a runner at third with 1 out. Oh, did they need this?
Sometimes you just need to be given a gift, and this is a big-time gift right here on the pickoff. Now, can you cash that gift in? Sitting there at third base. Rondon dead to rights right here. But just a bad throw by Rogers. Chisholm tries to sell it a little bit right there at second base, acting like he's waiting for the throw. Rondon pops up, picks up Pop Warner over at third base.
And the Marlins now 2-2 the count, will bring the infield in. Fly ball could tie it. Carlson tapped it off the shin guard, it looked like, of Leon for a foul ball. Runner at third and less than 2 outs. Carlson has brought him in 7 of 9 times. League average just over 50%. Last stolen base was May 23rd of 18 for Rondon. He's at third. This crowd a little life now here in the bottom of the 6th. Dillon hitting .311 with runners in scoring position. They bunch on the infield towards the line. The left side. Swing and a miss. Cardinals need a 2-out hit from Goldschmidt. Strikeout number 6. Trevor Rogers. None bigger than this one.
Yeah, huge strikeout right there. Backdoor slider. Carlson can't hold up. Can't put the bat on it. And here we go. It's a guy you want to see up in a spot like this.
Goldschmidt is 0 for 2. He has struck out, fly to center. Strike one. Three for 19 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year. Paul Goldschmidt. One and one the count. Outfield very deep. Time called.
They're going to continue to try to attack Goldie on the inner half. He was late on the first one.
Strike. This is where Rogers has been very tough. Gets runners in scoring position. They're hitting under 150 against him this year. 143 to be exact. That's what good pitchers do.
They do. They do for sure. And it's about not making mistakes over the middle. He's got the 3 pitches you have to worry about.
The 1-2 pitch. Stayed away, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Saw Goldie last night turn on a 98-mile-an-hour sinker from Bender. RBI single through the left side.
The 2-2 pitch. Goldschmidt. Base hit into right. He comes through. On a 2-2 pitch, a base hit into right with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And the Cardinals have tied it. It's 1-1.
Right guy, right spot. The Cardinals were given the gift. You had the pickoff thrown up the line. Rondon standing at third. You don't want to leave him there. Goldie says, no worries, I got this. A changeup from Rogers shoots it right through a wide open right side. And a whole new ball game and an energy and a life that hasn't been in the ballpark all evening.
A huge base hit from the Cardinal first baseman as he drives in his 32nd run of the year. And it's a brand new game in the home half of the 6th inning. While we have a moment, a quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Chipping in on a surprise birthday gift that everyone will love, especially at 4:30 in the morning. When the big day arrives, you can send money fast with the Great Southern mobile app.
Nolan Arenado as Bender starts to throw, and the pitch count close to 90 for Rogers, who is due up first in the 7th inning. Marlins half of the 7th coming up.
So pitch count getting up there a little bit. The Cardinals finally put a little pressure on, score a run. Is this where he tries to do a little much? Is this where the mistake finally happens? Because if so, wrong guy to make it to.
Goldschmidt running, and the pitch taken for a strike, and now the go-ahead run in scoring position. Smart play by Nolan Arenado to take that pitch. He knew Goldie got a good jump.
Yeah, Goldie went first movement on this. As soon as he picks up the leg, he is gone, and you have to. You can't run the risk of fouling that thing off, ruining that opportunity.
The 0-1. Nothing in 2. Arenado 0 for 2 tonight. A lot of room on the right side of the infield. He'll take that pitch, especially with 2 strikes to right. He's grounded out to second. He is popped out to second. The 0-2 pitch. Arenado into center, and Marte will make the catch. Paul Goldschmidt, the 2-strike, 2-out base hit to tie it. It's 1-1.
Paul Goldschmidt, RBI single, and we are tied at 1 heading to the 7th. Edmundo Sosa now has 99 at-bats this season. He's been really good. Mike Schilt was asked if there's a big enough sample size to believe that this is what Edmundo will be as a major leaguer. Schilt said, sample sizes can be crazy, but I think it's a good barometer. I'd put it in heavy pencil. He's a good player, and he can play multiple positions. Schilt said, the one thing that's impressed me about Sosa is his winning mentality. He's looking to make a play like that pickoff play with Yachty. It's clear he has a high baseball IQ. Danny Schilt says Sosa has earned more opportunities. Also says he has a fearlessness to his game.
Very good defense, the high on base percentage, and at second base tonight, Genesis Cabrera. Second consecutive game, our Chevy called to the pen. This year, 30 games, and he will start the 7th. Lewis Brinson pinch hitting for Trevor Rogers. So not only do the Cardinals tie the game up, but they knock Rogers out of the game with a long bottom of the 6th. Remember, the Marlins played last night's game. 2 healthy position players on their bench. Jose Devers' shoulder issue was placed on the IL before the game, and then Corey Dickerson was unavailable, foot soreness, and the first pitch is strike, and we're underway here in the 7th. Short bench, and Don Mattingly used a reliever, John Curtis, to pinch hit. Score tied 2-2 in the 7th.
That didn't work out exactly as he planned, as Curtis strikes out bunting, and it was Diaz getting back pick. A little double play right there by Yachty and Sosa is the play that Schilt was talking about with Jim Hayes, and that was fun to watch.
Great play. There's a 1-1, 1-2. So much talk about Lewis Brinson, and the Marlins have been waiting for it all to materialize for this young man in a positive manner.
That was supposed to be the guy in that trade, and it was one. He was a player that Milwaukee didn't really want to give up, but when you're going to acquire Christian Yelich, you have to get uncomfortable in a trade like that. and it just hasn't been there. You see the skill set. He's got raw power, speed, athleticism, just hasn't been able to put it together at this level.
And a strikeout, and he didn't like it, having words with Chris Guccione, the home plate umpire. First quality start of the season for the starting pitcher tonight for the Cardinals, Kwang-Hyun Kim, and the BJC Healthcare difference maker for St. Louis.
Really impressive what KK was able to do while he was kind of struggling for feel. And as this ball game went on, through his 102 pitches, he got stronger and got better feel for his off speed and was spotting up a lot better. And it gives you an appreciation for what he did, especially early. You look at the first 3 innings of that ball game, stranded 6 runners right there, really bared down, gave him a chance. And the Cardinals have that recipe for success here. Tie ball game handed over to the bullpen. Sounds a lot like last night.
Top of the lineup, Jazz Chisholm. 0 for 3 tonight, is fly to right twice and also struck out. Had to be so much pressure put on Brinson, whether by himself or others too, when all of a sudden a fan favorite is traded away and he turns into the next season the MVP of the league. Not easy.
Yeah, you trade away the franchise, and then there's that feeling, oh, well, I'm supposed to be that now, and it's not that easy.
No. Cardinals shift on the right side of the infield, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch. 2-2.
Good luck with that.
Painting.
Yeah, 99-mile-an-hour bullet right there on the corner.
Swing and a miss. Lost his helmet. Genesis Cabrera with back-to-back strikeouts here in the 7th.
You get 99 on the corner, then you get the 82-mile-an-hour breaking ball that Jazz Chisholm spins himself into the ground on. Ended up catching Yachty with that backswing. Yachty's none the worse for wear.
First pitch, a strike to Marte. Pair of ground outs. Walk and a run scored. Nothing in 2. Pumping strikes. That pitch at 99.
Just feels so much different when Cabrera's coming out and just pounding the zone. I mean, I feel like when he's doing that, he's darn near unhittable. Commanding the counts, throwing upper 90s with a big breaking ball.
The 0-2 pitch. Cabrera struck out Brinson, the pinch hitter, looking to start the inning. Chisholm swinging, and now 1-2 on Marte. The next pitch to him. Spoiled, hit out of play.
A little bit of a change in pace in your lefties in this ball game. Cabrera coming in through that changeup right there at 90 miles an hour. You had Kim throwing his fastball right around that same spot.
The 1-2 again. Ground ball, backing up Arenado. And the 1-2-3. Genesis Cabrera. Time to stretch in game number 2 of this series. O'Neill, Molina, Sosa coming up. We're tied at 1. Kim to the Cardinal rotation. He allowed 1 run in 6 innings. Rondon, a pinch hitter, picked up a base hit, and then it was Paul Goldschmidt. after an error on a pickoff, scoring Rondon. He wound up at third on the pickoff, and it came with 2 strikes, 2 outs, base hit to right to tie it up 1-1, 3 hits aside, and that's where we're at in the home half of the 7th. Anthony Bender, 16 2/3, a 0 ERA, and a Chevy called to the pen.
It was all Anthony Bender in the ball game last night. Didn't give up a run of his own, but he did give up that inherited runner. It was Paul Goldschmidt that pulled a 98-mile-an-hour sinker in off the plate through the left side and ended up driving in a run. But Bender has had a really nice season.
Tyler O'Neill extending his on-base streak to 21. Walk back in the second. Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri if a Cardinal hits a home run this inning. The check swing. This guy's got a good sinker, throws hard, slider, tough on righties. O'Neill really making that adjustment on that pitch, trying to hold up. This season, right-handed pitching, hitting .300.
I've seen him pop a bunch of mistake-breaking balls out of the ballpark also. You're still going to get your swing and misses. You're going to have that with anybody that has any power. The pitch recognition, the way that he takes pitches, it's been a drastic change.
Swing and a miss. The strikeout of Tyler O'Neill. Cardinals as a team collectively tonight, 7 strikeouts. The Marlins with 8.
This ball moves a foot. This starts on the outer half, ends up middle. That's filthy. You're looking away maybe for that frisbee slider again. Then you get not only a good sinker with the movement, but you get the 98 miles an hour on it as well.
There's Yadier Molina, 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out, flied out to center. Fastball taken high. Late and close situations like this. 7 for 21, a money player. Yadier Molina. We'd love to add to that. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. It was a fairly quick inning for Cabrera, so you could probably extend him if Mike Schilt wants to do that. Broke his bat, popped up right over the Cardinal dugout and into the Cardinal dugout off the screen.
I love how Cabrera came in and slammed the door after the Cardinals got that momentum back, got that run back. Came in pumping strikes, going right after him. 2 punchies in the inning.
Cardinals had a walk in the second. Their first base hit was in the 4th. Then it was 2 hits in the 6th to tie it up. The 1-2 pitch to Molina. Good rip at it. And a souvenir here at Busch Stadium. That was the 1 pitch maybe this inning that he's gotten away with. That was hittable there.
Yeah. Overall today, the Marlins staff, Rogers, Bender so far, they haven't had too many center cut mistakes.
One-two pitch. 2-2. And Mundo Sosa at the on-deck circle. Left on the bench for the Cardinals would be Kisner, the backup catcher, Matt Carpenter. And we don't know about the availability of Tommy Edman, who was a late scratch from the Cardinal lineup. The 2-2. Fouled back. Two pitch to Yadier Molina. Fouled back just below us here in the Redbird Club of Busch Stadium.
You always duck?
How would you know?
I saw you.
No, you were underneath the table.
I looked up.
No, you were looking right over there.
I looked at you. Like
I saw that she caught it on our monitor.
Get her up here to protect you.
No. No need, Bradley. Good at bat here by Molina. Works it full. 3-2.
Starting to wonder if you really did save Al that one time.
I did. It was in Milwaukee, and the Bud Selig's signature from the baseball was in the palm of my hand.
Were you trying to dive out of the way and attract you?
No.
Those happen.
3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Good battle there between those two, and Bender is struck out the first two in this inning.
You're starting to see why Bender's having the success that he's having this season. It's just frisbee slider right here. Throws it hard, coming out of that same arm slot as the 98-mile-an-hour sinker. That was a great look at it.
There's Sosa. Inside for ball one. He's over 2. Grounded out to second and flied out to right. Chop towards third. Charging in Diaz, and he makes the play. Cardinals go 1-2-3. We head to the 8th. Aguilar, Duvall, and Sanchez. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for Miami. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest is brought to you by BJC Healthcare, the world's best medicine made better. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Very well-pitched ball game on both sides. Starters, relievers now. It's 1-1, 3 hits aside. Both teams have committed an error. Playing out like last night in terms of the relievers of the Cardinals. So 7th inning, Genesis Cabrera. Now the 8th inning is Giovanni Gallegos. And this is our Chevrolet call to the bullpen.
You'd love to see it play out exactly like last time. Giovanni Gallegos shut down the top side of this inning, top half of the inning, and the Cardinals be able to strike in the bottom half. That's what happened last night. It was Tyler O'Neill with the big double. DeYoung had the fielder's choice, little ground ball to first base to add another run, and that was all Reyes needed in the 9th inning. He looked so good, and this is the blueprint for the Cardinals. It's good pitching, timely hitting, handed over to these couple of guys in the pen.
Jesus Aguilar leads it off. 2 singles tonight, 1 to left, the other the center field, and he's also walked. I say it a bunch, but when Giovanni Gallegos, Brad, and this is for a lot of pitchers when you say this, but especially Gallegos, when he gets rest, he is just filthy. Pinpoint control, nasty movement, very, very tough to hit.
You get some of the oddest swings on his slider. Just a testament to how well he sells it.
Right-handed batters hitting 134 all told this year. The lefties 158. So you really don't get overly concerned at all about splits against Giovanni Gallegos.
More important now than ever before. 3 batter minimum. You got to have guys that can get both sides out.
Nothing in 2. Blyer is starting to get loose. And with 2 strikes, Sosa moving more towards his natural position at second base. Richard Blyer, lefty. They carry 2 in their pen, throwing and getting loose in the bullpen for Miami. And a high fly ball out to center. Dylan Carlson under it. And the first out here in the top of the 8th. Gallegos records the first out in Miami's half of the 8th. And join us at the ballpark Friday, June 25th, Saturday, June 26th. Cardinals take on the Pirates. Each day, 15,000 fans ages 16 and older. They take home a stainless steel powder-coated tumbler featuring Yadier Molina. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Here's Duvall, who has walked RBI single in the third and fly to left field. Taps it foul for strike one. 12 home runs, so be careful here. Cleanup hitter in their lineup. Starting to get the wave going. I got to say that this is outside of Tyler O'Neill's at bats or Goldschmidt earlier tonight, probably the loudest, most active the crowd has been. The crowd has been quiet the last couple of nights.
Well, you give them something to cheer for. You tie up a ball game. You hand it over to your bullpen. It's an exciting game, as you mentioned before. Very well pitched and kind of waiting for that thing to happen. That great moment. And all great moments in baseball start with the wave, as we all know.
Jim Hayes down there getting him going.
You notice that too.
He's incredible. Reports usually in the second, the fifth, sometimes the seventh. And he will get the wave going. And apparently he's got it going now. Great job, Jimmy.
Really commands a room. I mean, it's hard to get this many people in line.
But sometimes it takes a little bit to get it going.
Dedication is what it takes, and Jim's got it.
Shift on the left side and a 2-1 pitch to Duvall. Swung on and missed. 2-2. Well, Jim is also one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, so people want to adhere to his wishes, and that's another part of it.
They just fall in line.
Absolutely.
Fans going to be cheering about this strikeout in a second and try to paint the outside corner.
The 2-2 pitch popped him up. Carlson calling for it. The center fielder under it and has it for number 2. Always makes me happy when Brian Shapiro says, how about a quick word from the home loan expert Ryan Kelly.
Baseball's back, and we couldn't be more excited. Mortgage interest rates are on the rise, but we're still locking rates in the twos. Start saving now and apply online. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
Brian Shapiro, our producer tonight. Tom Mee, longtime director. Brian McCann. Keith O'Brien, his top assistant. Keith Operman, all a part of our outstanding Bally Sports Midwest crew. Jesus Sanchez, 0 for 3 tonight, pair of groundouts and a strikeout. And the first pitch is strike. Cardinals have DeYoung, Lane Thomas, and then Gallego's spot coming up.
Well, Sanchez doesn't like the call. Didn't like one in his last at bat at the bottom of the zone, but home plate umpire Chris Guccione's been given the bottom.
So you play mind games, then you go up the ladder, don't you?
It's all about changing the eye levels, changing the speed, getting a hitter uncomfortable.
Sanchez was batting above 350 against right-handed pitching at AAA. 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, we see the Marlins so much in spring training. I don't remember seeing him all that much this spring.
Yeah, I don't either. But top 100 prospect in baseball.
I've read about him, just don't remember seeing much of him.
Sometimes you end up doing that, though, with prospects. You get more work on the backfield. You let them go out there and just get all of the reps instead of some of them in big league camp.
The 1-2 pitch. Fouled back.
seen a couple of times in this at bat. Giovanni Gallegos trying to elevate to Sanchez, and if he gets one up there just a little bit higher, you're going to get him to swing through it. We'll see if that's what Yadi's thinking here as well. Going with the slider.
The 1-2 again. Just got a piece.
Yadi was telling him on that pitch beforehand, he said, bounce it. Go ahead. You got him in swing mode. Really good pitch right there by Giovanni Gallegos. If he just throws it a little bit lower, if he does bounce it like Yadi was saying, you're getting him to commit for sure. But it's back to the cat and mouse. You've thrown him the couple of breaking balls, the fastball up. Does he elevate again? Does he go back to the bread and butter, the invisible? Here it comes, fastball up.
Another time on 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Gallegos, a 1-2-3. Here at the top of the 8th, and we're tied 1-1. The Cardinals with 2 outs, 2 strikes, down by a run in the bottom of the 6th. Get this blistering shot off the bat of Paul Goldschmidt to tie it up. That scores Rondon. 3rd hardest hit for Paul Goldschmidt this year. StatCast powered by Google Cloud tied it up 1-1. Rogers went 6 innings. Duvall 1 for 3 with a walk, RBI single. Kim really gutted through 6 innings, 5 walks along the way, and the RBI base hit by Paul Goldschmidt and Richard Blyer, our Chevy call to the pen.
Yeah, it felt like nothing good was going to happen against Rogers, and the Cardinals got that gift, had the error. Goldie with the great piece of hitting on the changeup. And then new life handed over to the bullpen. They've been very good. I agree with KK. Really made pitches when he had to in a game where he didn't have his best control. And hopefully the last couple of innings, something that he can build on going forward.
Here is the shortstop, DeYoung. Hits it to the right side and a base hit. They had the shift on. Snuck on through, and it's a base hit for Paul DeYoung, and the go-ahead run is on. Even prior to the base hit by DeYoung, and look how exaggerated that shift is. I was just about to say, there's a different sense to the crowd from yesterday and even the first 5 or 6 innings of the game tonight. They're starting to get into it.
Yeah, they are, for sure. And the team, they feed off of that stuff. They feed off the crowd being into the games. They know that things have not gone their way here recently, trying to figure some things out, certainly offensively. But get them going. Fans want to cheer. They've been wanting to be in the ballpark for a long time, getting the chance now.
The way things have gone for Lane Thomas, you got to wonder if they've got a bunt down here. And when they threw over, it looked like Thomas may have shown that he was going to bunt. We'll see. Third baseman Diaz playing in, anticipating that. Lane Thomas is hitting .091. I mean, probably the odds are that you're going to bunt in this spot.
So we'll go back to a key to the game, and it was sweat the small stuff. If you're going to bunt here, you got to get it down. You got to be able to move this runner over. Get him in scoring position in the get that opportunity, and that was Adam Wainwright with a helmet and a bat in his hand.
Interesting to see who's on deck, and that is Andrew Kisner. Now you have a lefty on the mound, and that would tell you your availability with Tommy Edman, which means he's probably not available, the switch hitter, because you've got then Carpenter and Kisner, and you don't want Carpenter to face a lefty. The 1-0 pitch.
Well, you're sacrificing, you're giving yourself up. Can't be stabbing at that. You got to get turned around, you got to get squared up and get out there, and that's probably part of that conversation here if the bunt's going to remain on. Everybody in the ballpark knows it's coming, telegraphed it twice on the pickoffs.
Mike Schilt, by the way, you're thinking of every possible scenario. What if Lane Thomas gets on you have first and second, and that's maybe why Wainwright would have a bat to potentially bunt in that spot. And you could pull back Andrew Kisner. Just something to think about if you're wondering why he's got the helmet and the bat on.
Well, he laid down a beauty last night with 2 strikes too. Ended up putting it perfectly on that third base line.
Lane Thomas does not have a sac bunt in his career. 1 ball and 1 strike. And now we're going to find out what they're going to do. No one is out. Diaz would have had to play at first, thought about going to second, and everyone is safe. And they have pulled back Andrew Kisner, and indeed, just like we talked about, it unfolds potentially here for Wainwright.
Well, great call by you, Dan. This is a situation right there. You got to go with the first instinct, make a play. He doesn't do it. The Cardinals catch a break. You got first and second. Uncle Charlie into pinch hit. The crowd is going wild.
Aguilar at first, Diaz at third. They're coming in, and it's important now for your runner at second base, DeYoung, to get a very good secondary lead to make sure he gets to the bag, if indeed he bunts. Strike 1. Adam Wainwright is 5 for 19, by the way, as a pinch hitter.
Those are ridiculous numbers.
Yes.
You know he handles it well. You know he can do that pull back and swing, that slash really well. So if you get Diaz crashing too hard, well, you can pull back, shoot it past him.
Bunts it to third. They have a play, and it could be 2, and it will be. It's a double play. The one thing that cannot happen in that spot just did.
Well, it's just the too hard of a bunt, and this is a pitch here by Blyer that is way in, and Adam just not able to deaden that one like he was last night. An easy candidate to double off right there, and all that momentum you just had in a spot, all that energy kind of zapped a little bit. You still got a runner here standing at second base, though, in scoring position for Dylan Carlson, so still have a chance.
It's a 5-6-4 double play. And almost hit Dylan Carlson. And Carlson is fly to right, singled to left, and struck out with a runner at third and 1 out after the error on the pitcher that allowed Rondon to get to third, and then it was a 2-2 count. He struck out, and then Goldschmidt bailed him out with a base hit. Off the plate, and it's 2-0. Adam Simber, right-hander, getting loose for Goldschmidt, just in case. Alex Reyes throwing for the Cardinals. Dylan Carlson, a .278 hitter with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. That's good speed out there. And Lane Thomas, the 2-1. 3-1. And the rookie can be selective here. Would this be the time for his first home run in 2021 at Busch Stadium? 3-1 pitch. 3-2.
Dylan didn't like that one just off the corner of the plate. Blyer ends up getting the call here, and for Dylan, got to snap right back into it. All it takes, he's been so good at just serving the ball with 2 strikes, just serving it out to the outfield, just getting the barrel to it.
And he struck out. So the Cardinals get the first 2 on and can't do anything with it. The tough inning offensively for St. Louis. It stays tied 1-1. Alex Reyes, the Cardinal closer, is in a 1-1 game as the Cardinals miss a golden opportunity in the home half of the 8th. Get the first 2 on and cannot score with nobody out, and it stays tied at 1-1. Alex Reyes had plenty of rest going into the save opportunity last night, and it looked like he was as sharp as we've seen him.
Yeah, you kind of wondered, though, coming into that one, how sharp you're going to be with getting as little work as he's had here recently. Well, the answer was quick. It was swift. 10 pitches is all it took.
So it's an inning pitched, and the 10 pitches, as you mentioned, 9 were strikes. There's John Birdie, then Leon and Diaz. First pitch by Reyes, taken for a ball upstairs. Birdie tonight, pair of groundouts and a walk. We're tied. It's a 1-1 game. And the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. Cardinals in the bottom of the 9th will have Goldschmidt, Arenado, O'Neill. So you're going to get the guys you want, 2, 3, and 4 coming up.
That's how you'd like to write it up. Been waiting for a long ball. Would love that. This fan, you thought the wave had him going. Now that'll do it.
3-0.
Yachty right there just telling Alex, come to me. A little bit of him is falling off towards that first base side. You got to bring everything right to the plate.
Reyes, the 4th pitcher used by St. Louis tonight. 3-0 delivery, and there's a strike. We saw Kim go 6 innings, first quality start of the year. Struck out 6, about 3 hits. Cabrera scoreless inning, 2 strikeouts. Gallegos a 1-2-3 with a strikeout. 3-1 pitch from Reyes. And a leadoff walk. And that is the last thing you want in a tie ball game here in the 9th.
Yeah, again, not how you're going to draw this one up. At the very least, you know this with Reyes. You got a guy that can punch out the side and that can get outs very quickly. So it's all about him honing back in on the strike zone. We've seen this happen before with him on the mound. He's getting a little quick to the plate. Release point isn't quite where he wants it to be. See Yachty a lot of times here call for the breaking ball. Get that timing in. See if he can spin a couple of curveballs in and get back where he wants to.
It's a 29th walk from Alex Reyes this season. And yet he can get away with it because right-handed batters have a total of 9 hits against him. The lefties 6.
You have that many walks and he still has a .84 ERA.
It's incredible.
Testament to his stuff.
Cardinals, you throw over, and part of that is just to keep Birdie close, and the other part of it to see if that man right there is going to square and bunt. Sometimes you can give that away.
It's exactly what we saw last half inning with Lane Thomas. Picked over a couple times, did Blyer. He showed the bunt. His worked out well. Waino's not as much.
And he is bunting. Arenado will go to second, and they got the lead man. Took a chance and it paid off. Quick transition out of the glove and into the throwing hand of Nolan Arenado.
This play has to be perfect. You can't mess up the handle. The throw's got to be on the money. There's no extra steps right there. All it is get the ball, pivot off the right foot, and let it go.
And it's not as if Birdie is a slow runner. He's a pretty good runner, and he got a decent jump on the bunt. That's a big play. So Sierra will be your pinch runner for Leon. Very good speed at first. And here is Diaz. Alfaro will have to come in the game and catch. And they'll be down to one position player left in their bench tonight. Lifted down the left field line and out of play. That 8th inning for the Cardinals sums up the way things have been going this year.
Yeah, it does. It looked like you had the opportunity, you had everything there, and it went away quickly. But you're still sitting here. You got a tie ball game. You got Reyes on the bump with 2, 3, 4 coming up for you at bat in the 9th inning. So do you have a little bit of magic left?
That's in there for a strike. 1-2. Spinning away Diaz. He has struck out twice and also grounded out. 0 for 3 tonight. One-two pitch. Alex Reyes. Instead of check on Sierra at first.
Not a terrible idea to be keeping that guy as close as you can. You don't want him getting any extra jump on a ball, potentially hitting the gap. You know he can score.
Here's a 1-2 from Alex Reyes. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Blew it by him. Diaz strikes out for the 3rd time.
Yachty gets this one exactly where he wants it. He calls for the fastball up. That's exactly where Alex Reyes puts it. 97 up away. And that was right off of a breaking ball up in the zone for a strike. So you see those two pitches play so well off of each other.
Alfaro will pinch hit here, then stay in the game and catch. You think about key moments in this game on both sides. We had that in the bottom of the 8th. We had the play moments ago by Nolan Arenado. The Marlins had runners at 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, did not score against Kim, who looked to be on the ropes. The Paul Goldschmidt 2-strike base hit when nothing was going right for the Cardinals to tie it up. It has been a game of just some of the little things that have happened here, and one more of those things may happen here tonight to win it for either side. There was the 10th Marlin to strike out in this ball game tonight. That's taken high for ball 1. Interesting that Don Mattingly has not started Sierra just to take a chance. They've been struggling on the road, having dropped 9 of 10 away from home. Take a chance with a guy like Sierra, but Having said that, not a lot of teams are trying against Yadier Molina until now, but it doesn't matter. Sierra was running right as I said that, but we're not going to find out the result because of the ground ball right back to Reyes. A chance to win it for the Cardinals when we come back. Goldschmidt, Arenado, O'Neill coming up. It's 1-1, bottom of the ninth. Well pitched on both sides. Total of 8 hits in this game. It's 1-1, bottom of the ninth. Yemi Garcia, right-hander, comes in for the Marlins. Those youngsters are hoping to see the Cardinals walk off the Marlins and take a series win, something the Cardinals have struggled with here in the last month or so. And it's our Chevy called to the pen. It's a new battery with Alfaro staying in the game at catcher. Garcia's on the mound. And the Cardinals have 2, 3, and 4 coming up. Goldschmidt, who's picked up the lone run batted in for St. Louis tonight, a base hit to right. RBI number 32 back in the 6th. Then Arenado and Tyler O'Neill. His last walk-off was back in 2019 against these Marlins.
About time for an anniversary party.
Cardinals could use it. Could use a series win, especially with Alcantara going tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to be tough. Rogers was tough tonight. KK really fought. Cardinals bullpen has done a good job, as has the Marlins to this point. But to your earlier point, something's got to crack at some point. The Cardinals did catch a break. Goldie made him pay for the break. That was the error on the pickoff to first base. Rondon ends up at third. Goldie cashes in a changeup to the right side, accounting for the lone run of the game for the Cardinals. But none of the missed opportunities in this ballgame matter right now. It's about what you do here.
And the first pitch is strike. Garcia has been a closer for Miami. He's had 11 saves, just 4 earned runs in 12 1/3 in save opportunities. And in this ball game, we're tied 1-1 on the road for the Marlins here in the 9th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike. Got a fastball, slider, curve. He'll show a changeup not very often. The 1-1 pitch. Arenado is 3 for 7, 2 home runs against this right-hander. The 1-2. And a high fly ball into deep right center. It's at the wall. Gone! Goldie wins it. He drives in both tonight. Paul Goldschmidt tied it in the 6th, and he wins it in the bottom of the 9th. The Budweiser play of the game. You didn't have to get to Nolan Arenado. Goldie said, I'll take care of business. Walk-off homer. And the Cardinals have taken the first 2 in this series.
A 98-mile-an-hour fastball away by Garcia. Goldie is ready for it, jumps all over it, and that right there, that might be the thing that the Cardinals needed. The walk-off winner, some momentum, some excitement, a series win already. What a game.
Let's take you downstairs, and Jim Hayes standing by with Paul Goldschmidt.
Danny, Goldie had the RBI single to tie this game, the home run to win it. 1-2 fastball. You jump on it. Take us through that at bat.
You know, trying to get something in the middle of the plate. He got ahead, and then just 2 strikes, just trying to put something in play, and luckily was able to get enough of that to get out of here.
How about KK coming off a back issue? Not sure how long he could go. He gave you 6 at 3rd inning. He got out of all kinds of trouble. How good was he?
Yeah, we might have won the game there in that 3rd inning. You know, a couple of balls kind of got away, and they had some guys on to keep it at 1 run. Came in the dugout thinking, you know, we still got a chance, and I mean, their guy was really good tonight. Luckily, we were able to get that one and then get another one.
How dominant is that 1-2-3 combo in your bullpen to close out games?
Yeah, they've been huge for us, and a lot of zeros tonight. You know, we only scored 2, and, you know, that's what it took to win.
You got back-to-back wins now, a chance to sweep tomorrow. Seems like you guys are in a much better place right now.
It's funny how winning a couple games changes it, but you remember I told you I got to start playing better if we want to win some games, and I was able to hit a couple hits last night again tonight. And, you know, when you're hitting in the middle of the order, when you don't perform like I, you know, haven't done for a lot part of this year, you know, it makes it tough. Luckily, the other guys have picked me up. It's nice to, you know, be able to come through tonight.
I'll take it as I inspired you. Thank you.
Whatever it takes.
Paul Goldschmidt, Danny.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. A fun night here at the ballpark. Cardinals fell behind. They were looking for any kind of offense, and Paul Goldschmidt tied it in the 6th with 2 outs and 2 strikes. And then he wins it in the bottom of the ninth with a solo home run into the bleachers in right center. The Cardinals will look for a season sweep of the Marlins tomorrow. 2-1 the final. Post-game show is next.